What's going on, guys? Blazing here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me on another Raid Shadow Legends video. Alright, so recently I got a request to do some of the secret rooms and do some budget teams. Alright, so we're going to start with the hard mode rooms, right? I start always on hard mode Doom Tower because, I want to make sure I get those rewards because we got 2 sacred shards almost on every rotation. We get some legendary books. So let's get into the teams. We're going to start with room 1, work all the way up to room 12. I'm not going to do them all in one video, so it'll be everyone will have its own separate video, and I'll try to keep them nice and short. So let's start with room 1 and see what we can do. All right, so secret room 1 for hard mode in this rotation, which is rotation 2 of Doom Tower. Epics only, right? We've got a lot of epics we can pick from, but I want to pick epics that are both going to be used in multiple areas of the game, right? So I don't want to tell you to build something that you will use just for this, but not for nothing else, right? I'm not going to tell you to build a Jarang, right? Or yeah, Jarang, right? He's not really, he does bring some stuff with the stun on the A2, will ignore defense on the A1, and does bring in a random decrease attack and decrease defense, but I don't feel like he's somebody you should build for this. But somebody you should build for this and for, other content in the game would be like a Magnar, right? Great nuker, obviously. Really, really strong in multiple areas of the game. And especially with Plarium doing a lot of these, faction specific, he's going to come in as a great wave nuker, right? Next up, I want to use somebody who's going to, provide us a lot of survivability, a lot of sustain. Somebody who's going to, no matter what, keep us alive. And that's going to be our Miscreated monster. He is currently so underrated. A lot of the content creators use them in the Spooky Spider Challenge, which, by the way, the video above will link to the giveaway that we're doing for that. So make sure you guys go check that out. Really, really strong, right? Brings a shield, 3-turn cooldown. If built properly, the shield could be massive, right? Brings the ally protect and then brings a fear as well too. So very solid right there. All right, next I want to bring in somebody who's going to give us some sustain. Now we could bring in a reviver if we're really, hurting. So we could bring in a Gorgorab, right? Or we could bring in somebody like a Vrask. Or Vrask with his A1 going, maybe in a Relentless set or in a curing set, should be able to keep everybody up all the time, no problem, right? As long as he crit heals, he's going to heal everybody, right? So he's pretty solid right there. All right, so what do we need now? Now we're looking at, we've got a nuker, we've got supports. We need somebody who's going to give us some decreased defense, right? So we have some options here. We have Tyrell, right? We do have, somewhere on the account, we have a Stagnite, right? But I want to highlight somebody here who I feel is going to be great, which is Gorlos. Gorlos brings in a decreased accuracy, right? Brings in an HP burn, which doesn't pair well with Magnar, but, unless, Magnar spreads it, it shouldn't be a problem. And then also brings a decreased defense, right? So he's going to come in great for us. Now, what else could we use for the 5th spot? Well, ideally here, it's, if you need a reviver, you put a reviver in, you put in your Gorgorab, right? One of the best epic revivers out there. If you don't, bring in another nuker, right? So we're going to go ahead and bring in our Dark Elhain. Now, I do want to go through the run. I do want to set it up manually because we haven't set up a AI yet, so we want to maximize the damage we can do, right? Again, you could let this team run full auto and it should be no problem, but we'll go ahead and we'll open up with Miscreated's A2. We'll open up with Gorlos's A2, sorry, Miscreated's A3, Gorlos's A2. Vrask coming in with the A1. You see we got a 7,000 heal everywhere. A2 on Magnar clears out the waves, right? A2 on Frozen, not Frozen, you want to call it a Frozen Banshee, but Dark Elhain, pretty solid, right? And then we can just basically put this on auto. We shouldn't have any problems here. Everything should be all set now. You saw that she got the fear, right, which was pretty solid. Miscreated giving us a nice big meaty shield here, which is great. Got off a couple of stuns as well too. We get the decreased defense. Ooh, and Magnar's A2 just got wasted there. I mean, I guess if you want to, you know, manual it to optimize for turns and stuff, you could, but you don't really have to. There we go. We got the decreased speed from our Dark Elhain. There we go. I got it right this time. And Jareng's pretty much holding up the opponent right now, right? A2 from Magnar again. Now again, if you really wanted to set up the AI setup, you could. I really don't think it's necessary. But Miscreated coming in again with another stun and shield. There goes Dark Elhain. So let me know if you guys want to see any other particular secret rooms, right? I will try to get them all done as quickly as possible. At this point, for myself, they don't really offer anything. I don't get any fragments, so I honestly don't even do them when they come up unless it's the Dark Fae rotation. And that's only because she gives one of the best sets in the game, right? So Magnar, there we go again with the A2. And runs over. GG, we are good, right? Okay. So yeah, I already ran this once because I needed to get the keys out of the way. So there we go, 2 minutes, 39 seconds. Pretty free-to-play friendly team. Champions that you're going to be able to build and use somewhere else. So let me highlight some of their builds. All right, so Miscreated Monster is going to be first on the chopping block. As for him, you know, we kind of build him tanky, right? So what are we looking for? We wanted to make sure that he's got enough HP to take a hit from everybody else when he gets, you know, when he's the ally protector. So 70k HP is solid, 2.5k defense works out well, 259 speed. Now, because he does have cruelty, we built him with going faster than everybody else to be able to abuse that cruelty, right, for our nuker. Crit rate, you want to build him with 100%. The more damage he does, the bigger shield he's going to do, right, or give you. 123 crit damage. Honestly, this is too much. I would try to do as little as possible because if he is the ally protector, right, the damage he takes is based off of how much crit damage he has. Resistance is at 228. We don't really care about that. And accuracy is at 351. You want to make sure you have enough accuracy to land everything in Doom Tower. 350 is usually a good number for hard modes and Doom Tower, right? All right, so let's talk about skills. If you have them, you're going to want to book them, right? Especially, again, because coming into all these specific dungeons with the factions, I feel like he's going to start coming into some good play in here. Cruelty is the blessing we did take for him, right? He does have a very solid A2 attacking all enemies. Could we take some other ones? Sure, but it really depends on, you know, what the rest of the teams are. And he does have a pretty high blessing. It's a 5-star, so I decided cruelty was going to be better. Yes, I know he doesn't gain anything from attack. Masteries-wise, we could go down and take War Master. We took Helm Smasher because we used them in Arena before, and we want to try to, you know, increase the amount of damage he does and ignores the defense. Sorry, mouthful right there. And so, you know, for Spider, this build is perfect, right? So we did take Helm Smasher, we did take Killstreak, we did take Methodical, we did take Bring It Down along with Cycle of Violence. We did take Lasting Gifts, right? If we can get that to a 4-turn shield, that would be great. We did take Merciful Aid, and we did take Healing Savior. Everything on the support tree is to increase the amount of shield he gives. Next up, we have Magnar. Now, Magnar I've recently built for the dungeon-specific teams to make sure that we can clear some of these waves with like 1 or 2 hits, right? And so for him, we have him built with a Stone Skin and Instinct set, right? Refresh accessories would work out well for him. If you have them, they're definitely going to work out well. Do you need them? Absolutely not, right? As for stats, what are we doing? Well, we have him as a nuker, right? So he is based off of HP, so we want to have as much HP as possible. So we have him at 86k HP, which is pretty solid, right? 2.1k defense. It is a little bit low, but I don't think for what we're currently using him for, like he's not going to make any of my hard mode dungeon teams, so I don't have to worry about him having too much defense. But what he does serve his role for definitely helps, right? So if we could get it to close to 2.5, would be good. 220 speed, right? He is, he's not speed tuned for this, but for the teams that he is speed tuned for, he is the last in the turn order. 100% crit rate. If you're going to build a damage dealer, always build them with 100% crit rate, unless their kit offers something like a Cold Heart, where she doesn't need it because her A3 can always crit. 242 crit damage, right? As for resistance and accuracy, we don't really care. We don't want to land any of that debuffs, so we're good, right? We don't need it. Booking situation, we did use books on him. We do have him fully booked, right? Crushing Rend is what we did take, kind of like a built-in Savage, right? He does have a 5-star, so it does help. As for masteries, because we can use them as an arena nuker, right? In some live arena fights, it does help. So we did go down and we use them in Helm Smasher, Kill Streak, Methodical, Wrath of the Slaying, along with Opportunist. We did use Sniper, Lore of Steel, and Swarm Smiter. All right, let's talk about Dark Elhaine, right? First of all, she looks really, really cool, right? Really love it. If we could get a nice skin on her, you know, give her a little more of a, I don't know, a little more evil look, right? I think that would be kind of cool. But let's talk about what we built with, or how we have her built. We did put her in a triple cruel set, right? So is it necessary? No. But for PvE content, it does help, right? We don't use her a lot for PvP, even though she is an excellent counter to a Torment. Stats wise, we do have her built with 42k HP. We have her built with 5k attack, right? She is attack based, so we want to try to build that up as much as possible. 1.9k defense almost. She could take a little more defense, right? If you're going to build her just as your PvE specialist for your waves, you don't really need it, but it does help, right? Speed. I actually need to increase the amount of speed I have on her. Her boots, when they're fully oiled, will be speed boots. So I'm kind of waiting to farm out some more oils, but she should be over 200 speed, right? Remember, anytime you build anybody, you want to make sure that they're taking 2-to-1 turns, right? 101 crit rate, right? 256 crit damage. And as for resistance, we don't care. Accuracy, she does bring in a decreased speed, so it does help. So we have her built with 288 accuracy. Skills wise, we do have her fully booked. She does benefit from books, right? Phantom Touch is the blessing that we did take for her. As for masteries, again, Arena Nuker masteries, we did take Helm Smasher, we did take Kill Streak, we did take Methodical, and we did take Bring It Down. We did take Sniper, along with Lore of Steel, Cycle of Magic, and Swarm Smiter. Alright, so let's talk about Vrask. Vrask has a very unique skill kit with his passive, right? So we built him with a bolster and speed set. Now, the set does not matter, guys. Remember, stats over sets, right? If you start building your champions with sets over stats, like other content creators have suggested, you will suffer, right? It's not going to help you if you can't crit, if you're in a Relentless set for Vrask, right? Or if he's not going fast enough, right? So we always want to make sure that we have the stats, we're going fast enough, we have the right builds, and if we can afford to go with sets, then do so. If not, never sacrifice that. Now, let's talk about his banner, amulet, and ring, right? We want to make sure we get counterattack accessories. Counterattack accessories for him are going to be awesome. The A1 and his passive, both will give you healing and turn meter boost if he crits. So if he's hitting with the A1, you're going to want to take that as much as possible. Let's talk about stats. Obviously, with the passive, he heals by 10% of whatever his max HP is. So if you can build him with 100k, go for it. But do not sacrifice defense for it, right? You want to be able to take a hit as well, too. So about 2,500 should be solid, 2,200. Try not to go below that, right? Or else you're going to find yourself losing a lot of survivability. Sorry. 229 speed is what we currently have him. The faster, the better. I always suggest making sure that you build anybody on your account for general PvE use, minimum 200 speed, right? He is going to require 100% crit rate. You want to be able to crit so you can gain more turn meter, so you can gain the heals, right? Crit damage, we don't really care about. Resistance, we don't care. I have 245 on this one, but it's not like I went out of my way to build it, right? Accuracy, he's not going to land any debuffs. You don't care. Let's talk about the booking situation. Do you need him booked? Absolutely not. Do we have him booked? Yes. The A1, honestly, is the only one you really want to book, and doesn't even actually matter, to be quite honest. I feel like Vrask is just a great champion that you don't really need to put anything in him, right? If you do happen to book it to get a little bit of extra damage, it's not going to hurt you. Honestly, you're only going to use the A1. You're not going to really find yourself using anything else. So trying to get a little bit of extra damage could help. Let's talk about the A2. The A2 just attacks one enemy. On a 3-turn cooldown, does nothing else. Plarium, please give this guy some love. Give him something on the A2. Give him like a 30% heal for, everybody's from his max HP or something on like a 3-turn cooldown. Make him viable for 2024, not 2023. Please. The passive's actually pretty solid. Heals all allies by 10% of this champion's max HP whenever this champion inflicts a critical hit. Don't touch that. Leave that alone, right? Maybe if you want to boost it up to like 15, cool. But if not, just leave that alone. Don't mess with it. Commanding Presence is what we did take for a blessing. Let's talk about masteries. Do we need them? No. Could you want them? Sure. I would definitely go down the support and defense tree. I would not, unless, you're using them for like a clan boss team. I wouldn't really go down and take War Master. I'd probably come down and I would take, not Oppressor. I would take Timely Intervention. I would definitely take Spirit Haste. You don't need Cycle of Magic. You could use Lore of Steel. You could take Merciful Aid, Healing Savior, and nope, not that one. Sorry. You could take Lay on Hands along with Steadfast. As for the defense tree, I would probably go down, take Tough Skin, take Rejuvenation, take Blast Proof along with Resurgent, take Delay of Death with Retribution. Last but not least is Gorlos. Now, Gorlos is one of those champions that was introduced, I want to say, with the last 2 years. And that was mostly because I feel like the Demon Spawn did not have a very solid decrease defense. This guy, the moment it was released, I built him, got him on the team, helped me get down that Faction War stage so fast, right? I was running Kandathon, I was running Kymar and Duchess, and I was like, be safe, they'll go through. But it was like a 4-minute run, right? Especially on wave 2 with those pesky Valkyries. Well, he comes in and he solves that issue for us. So bringing that decreased defense is great. Now, we did build him with triple Cruel set. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. Is it the best set? Not really. What could work out better? Reflex, Relentless, anything else that's going to be able to help reduce his cooldowns, right? Or again, remember, stats over set. So if you can't, give him some survivability and just use him as your decreased defense champion. Let's talk about Amulet, Banner, and Ring. What do we need for those, right? Obviously, if we have refresh accessories, we're going to want to use those, right? They're going to pair out well. Now, if you do build him with some damage in his kit, you can take a Blood Shield accessory to give him a little bit more of a shield, help him keep himself alive, right? It does add up. Now, let's talk about stats. So for Gorlos, he's basically built on our account as a, hybrid build, right? So we have him going fast enough to be able to land the decreased defense and the decreased defense, and the decreased accuracy. And then we have him doing a little bit of damage because we want to try to abuse that blood shield, right? So we have him built at roughly 31k HP, 3.7k attack, 2.5k defense. He does have some defense to be able to take that hit, right? 241 speed. If you can get him faster, if you're just going to use him as your decreased defense, then don't worry about the attack or the crit rate. Just worry about giving him enough speed and survivability. Crit rate, we do have it at 100%. Crit damage, we have it at 168. Resistance, we don't really care about. Accuracy, we have it at 308. 350 would be better. Now let's talk about skills. We do have them fully booked, right? A2, A3, A1 is fully booked. It does help, right? As for blessings, this is really going to matter on, what you have for the rest of the team. I would probably take Cruelty for him, right? The AoE, getting that as the first hit off is going to help. Masteries wise, do we have a mastery? No. Do we need a mastery? Really depends on what you're going to do, right? If you're going to use them as some sort of a damage dealer, then yes, come down, right? Get War Master, Methodical, Kill Streak, bring it down, and single out. And then it really depends if you're going to build them with some accuracy and use them as a hybrid build. You could come down, you could take Pinpoint Accuracy, you could take Charge Focus, you could definitely take Swarm Smiter, you could take Lord of Steel along with Cycle of Magic, and then you can definitely take Sniper. So there it is, guys. I know it was a little bit of a longer video, but let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of the team. Do you want to see more content like this? Again, make sure that you do enter in for the giveaway. I will put an end card here for you guys to be able to enter in for the contest for the Legendary Book, 4-star Chicken, along with the Energy Multi-Battles, and the silver that's going to be in there. You do have till the 13th. Just follow the instructions on that video. As always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.